back, and did you see the bit of red on the screen when Murchison turns the gun towards himself and shoots him? In one of the documentaries on this disc that we've watched, Peter Bogdanovich talks about him talking with Hitchcock, that Hitchcock added that in at the end, and someone was saying, well, no one's going to be able to see that, and Hitchcock said, well, they'll feel it. But I could see it. I thought that was pretty cool. And boy, you know, the ending sort of redeems the picture a little bit. It was kind of a neat ending. Charming villain that turns out to be a double cross, all that good stuff. But boy, very, very antiquated. I have to say, dated. The world has changed a lot since this movie. We'll talk about that in a little bit. What I want to talk about though is how did the Selznick-Hitchcock partnership work out? Well, not very good. Number one, Selznick had his psychoanalyst be on the set at all times, making sure that all the conversations and psychobabble was accurate, and that must have been distracting. Selznick would come and want to watch them shoot, and Ingrid Bergman tells the story of when Selznick would come and want to watch them shooting, the camera would mysteriously break down, and Alfred Hitchcock would say, you know, boy, we just can't get this camera to work, and Hitchcock would get tired, Selznick would get tired of waiting, he'd leave, and miraculously the camera would start working again. So it definitely wasn't good. The other thing that's probably sounds tragic is that there was a lot more of the Dali dream sequence that was just not used. I think there was 15 minutes of stuff. Did we learn that in one of the other documentaries? Someone saw the film as it was done, told Selznick they thought it was dumb, and Selznick ordered a lot of it cut out. And that's too bad, because I think that it would have made this movie really interesting. The whole focus could have been that big Salvador Dali dream sequence, and instead it's just a lot of melodrama. It's a lot of the two lovebirds, Gregory Peck and Ingrid Bergman, and boy, it just really doesn't work. You know, the chemistry for those two is zero. There's zero chemistry between Gregory Peck and Ingrid Bergman, and what's worse is there's zero chemistry between Ingrid Bergman, Gregory Peck, and us. There's really no reason to like. Why would you like Gregory Peck? Why would you like Ingrid Bergman's character? We don't know anything about them. We're introduced to them. We have no background on them. It just doesn't work. We know this movie was huge. We know it was a blockbuster. It made lots of money. Nominated for Best Picture. Nominated for 6 Oscars. You know, we found a couple of reviews on the New York Times that say how splendid this movie is, and you know, we're not sure about this psychiatry thing, but if they say so, it's got to be good. And boy, it just really dated and doesn't do much for us. Yeah, the one article was like, well, you know, we don't trust the psychiatry necessarily, but if it's coming from Ingrid Bergman, it's got to be right. So neat articles. I might link them so you can read those reviews from 1945 and 1946 at the time. So there you go. You know, if you did find this one a little bit disappointing, you're not alone. Alfred Hitchcock found it disappointing too. In the interviews he gave to Truffaut, Truffaut decided or told him that he found the film disappointing, and Hitchcock said that he did too. So that's the way it is. What was the quote? The mind of a woman in love is operating at the lowest form of intellect. Yeah. So, and Leo G. Carroll was the bad guy. That was awesome. I did not see that coming the first time I saw this, so that was good. Just not buying Gregory Peck in this role. It wasn't a very good role for him. Ingrid Bergman, fine with what she had to work with. In one of the biographies of Hitchcock, when they talk about this movie, they talk at the beginning that Ingrid Bergman didn't want, she was under contract to David O. Selznick. She pretty much had to do what she wanted, but she didn't want to do this movie because she didn't believe the love story. So, the music. You know, the music, Diane pointed out, the music is driving, I think that's what you said, it's driving the beginning. The music is driving the drama. It's providing some much needed drama, and boy, that eerie kind of thing. We watched the movie that won Best Picture for 1945 was not Spellbound, but it was a movie called The Lost Weekend. And if you've not seen that movie, it's worthwhile. Ray Milland is the big star of that movie. He also won Best Actor that year. Gregory Peck did not. And Ray Milland, we'll see him again we'll see him in Dial M for Murder. But he plays a raging alcoholic in the movie The Lost Weekend. And boy, every time he starts to think about having a drink, it's the same music, because it's the same composer who was also nominated for Best Original Score for The Lost Weekend. It's the same guy that wins the only Oscar that Spellbound won was for the music. So I read in some reviews they found the music obtrusive. I don't know, I liked it. It's noticeable, and maybe that's obtrusive, but something had to be good. So I liked the little bit of the suspense that was created, the part where Gregory Peck is standing there with the razor blade, and you know, you don't know what he's going to do. You don't know if he's going to slice somebody's head off, or the little bit with, what was the other suspenseful part? There was one other. It's not good when I can't think of the other suspenseful part. Oh, I don't know, maybe at the end when, who knows, doesn't matter. Not a very suspenseful movie, so good. Yeah, the zero chemistry between Ingrid Bergman and Gregory Peck. I think that's Gregory Peck's fault, not Ingrid Bergman. So the doctor, Dr. Alex, I forget his last name, he won an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Director. So and the cameo, if you missed it, it was at about 39 minutes of the movie. Very, very quick. Alfred walking out with a little violin case or a little viola case or something. So rewind it to see that one if you didn't see it. So good. Yeah, boy, I think that's all I had to say about this one. What did you think of this one? She agrees with everything. She tells me what to say, I say it. What can I say? So good. Yeah, I don't know if we'll be watching this one again real soon. None of the awesomeness of Rebecca. So as far as I'm concerned, if this is O. Selznick-Hitchcock collaboration #1, I like Rebecca a lot better than this. Ben Hecht and Hitchcock collaboration, this was #1. #2 will be next week, Notorious, and we don't want to give anything away. So I'm not going to say any more, but Ingrid Bergman and Cary Grant in next week's movie Notorious. So we're done with 1945. Like I said, The Lost Weekend won Best Picture, a little bit dated too, but worthwhile, and some other okay movies from 1945. Nothing. Yeah, nothing real big. So good. So we're done with this one. We'll see you next week for 1946's movie Notorious. The Ben Hecht collaboration with Cary Grant and Ingrid Bergman. We look forward to it. So from our couch to yours, we will see you next week.